Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Metro out of the UK. It's written by Jessica McKay and was published on August 23rd. Pedophile said, if a child is old enough to talk, it's old enough to have sex. Now, this guy is a special kind of evil. Okay, this is depths of hell, if you believe in it, past the point of Hitler. Past the point of Stalin, past the point of Mao. Okay, this guy has a special place waiting for him. He really does. And what gets me is this guy wants to basically go on a, I don't want to call it a sex tour because we're talking about pedophilia and rape. He wants to go on a pedophile's delight tour to countries where the age of consent laws are just slightly laxed, where his preferred age group, his targets, his victims, will be able to supposedly give him consent. Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm literally doing everything I can to remain calm with this and not go off on one of my F-bomb filled tirades, because when I first read this, I was just a little bit pissed. And I figured I should probably calm down for this one, because it would literally end up being to the point of where fuckity fuck. I mean, it would be bad. So, yeah. A pedophile who wanted to travel to countries with lower ages of consent has been banned from leaving the UK. And I say that's a good thing. He should not be able to leave the United Kingdom, because they shouldn't be taking their predators and setting them forth on the world. I know that they've taken in a lot of predators with the whole mass migration bullshit of these, illegal individuals coming in from, the Middle East and North Africa and even Pakistan and other areas. The nations where a truck driver apiece would be, held up on a pedestal. Those places. So, yeah, if you're going to take them in, don't send yours out. It's just not right. And I say this is a good thing that he's being barred from leaving. Especially when you look at as we get into this story, this article, how messed up this guy and evil this guy really is. Because it's bad. Jason Leonard, 37, told police that if a child is old enough to talk, it's old enough to have sex during interviews about his crimes. He was handed a sexual harm prevention order banning him from leaving the UK without the consent of the chief constable. Good. This guy shouldn't even be able to get a passport. He should be barred from even getting one. That way you ensure this guy isn't leaving. And if you have to issue him one for some emergency circumstance that the chief constable approves, good. That would be the best way to do it, because we know how governments fail. They always screw up. They always mess things up. That being the case, what's to stop there from being a glitch happening, or someone didn't file something properly in the system, and this guy gets out on the country, goes to these places where the age of consent is within his desired range, and he's able to legally be a predator. Now, he comes back after getting a legal taste. Do you honestly think the law is going to stop him? Especially when you see what's stopping him now. There's only one thing stopping this guy. And God only knows how long that's going to be able to do it. And you'll see why, like I said, as we get on here. I mean, this is... He was handed a sexual harm prevention order. That should be good enough. That should be the end of it. But you're going to see this isn't. However, Leonard, described as one of the most dangerous registered sex offenders in Lancashire, appealed against that decision. There should be, I mean, I understand due process, but for this guy, there should be no appeal. And even if grant him appeal and go, well, we looked at it, you're out of your fucking mind. You're not leaving. I mean, just look at this guy. He looks like a fucking predator in every picture. And there's another one further down. You look at him and it's fucking scary. This guy is a piece of work. A detective revealed that Leonard had said his ideal partner would be aged between 12 and 14, and the only reason he was not acting on his desires was because of his elderly mother. So you have the fact of the guilt or whatever else that's restraining him with his elderly mother. Now, her being elderly, how many years does she have left? The second she kicks the bucket and she leaves this world, this predator, the one thing that was holding him back, gone. And he's set forth on the world. And he wants to literally be allowed to go forth on the world and wreak his psychological, physical, and emotional abuse on children. I mean, 12 to 14-year-olds. This disgusting, feminist ally-looking sleazebag wants to violate them. I mean, he wants to violate barely into teenage years, you know, these children. It's... I don't know how I'm restraining myself right now because I go off on some really stupid shit sometimes. I think it's the fact of the seriousness of this, and I don't want my doing that to affect people seeing how messed up this is. He previously said that pedophiles are being persecuted and treated like gay people 40 years ago and Jews in the Second World War. Yeah, this is one of the ones that really pissed me off. That this deviant would actually try to compare himself and other kid diddlers to the gay community and Jews in the Second World War. It takes a special kind of vile to try to do something like that. I mean, this guy would probably make a good LGBTQ AEIOU. They're thinking about adding the P member. He really would. Because he's got that leftist mentality, that victimhood status bullshit. I mean, it's ridiculous. Dude, you diddle kids. And you think you're being persecuted? I'm sure there are a lot of British guys, you know, the Rorys out there, with cricket bats, that would love to find a dark alley where there are no CCTV cameras and literally bash your fucking skull in. But they're not. And I'm not advocating that. And you want to act like you're persecuted? Dude, you literally want to prey on children. You're lucky you're fucking breathing. If you ended up in a prison, you'd probably end up falling on what would be claimed as your own shank 65 times. He said he wanted to go abroad to avoid this persecution. His appeal was rejected. No, he wants to go abroad so he can diddle kids legally. And I'm glad his appeal was rejected and they saw through that. This is a guy that should not be allowed to roam Great Britain, never mind the world. Leonard was jailed in 2013 for downloading pictures of children, then sharing them online. Which is pretty much going to be like a gateway situation if he hasn't diddled kids. It'll probably lead to it. I mean, look, he's trying to go abroad to do exactly that. Because, you know, that fixation with the pictures isn't good enough for him. An initial order was deemed insufficient until a condition was added that he must have permission from a child's parents or guardian if he wants to speak to children. Holy shit. This is where they dropped the ball. And excuse me, I'm literally doing everything I can not to sound like I have Tourette's right now. I think I'm doing a good job. Because this is where they really dropped the ball. There should not be a condition like that. Not at all. There should not be anything remotely like that. This guy should not be near kids, period. This guy should be ordered to live someplace where there are no fucking children. You know, throw him in a retirement community. All right, he's not into 80-year-old women or 80-year-old men, whichever which way his pedophilic predilection goes. Make him live in a place like that. Keep him away from kids. He said it was completely disproportionate, but police disagreed. How the hell is that completely disproportionate? Dude, you shouldn't be allowed near kids. You shouldn't be allowed to leave the country to go to countries where you can prey on kids legally. DC, Andrew Ashworth said, in the 10 years performing this role, I have never met a sexual offender who quite openly acknowledges his pedophilic tendencies. Yeah, because he's not afraid and he sees all this shit going on, especially like with the UK with the cultural Marxism, and he thinks that this is something that will be considered progressive and socially acceptable. So he has no problems openly talking about it. He thinks he's a victim. In his mind, thanks to cultural Marxism, he's an oppressed class. He's, on the note of being an oppressed, he's fucking lucky that he hasn't been thrown in prison and made someone's bitch and truly felt some oppression. Because while the guy is donkey punching him for being a fucking kid diddler, he's going to be ramming his fucking huge ass dick up this little fucking piece of shit's ass. I mean, this guy, I gotta, again, this is a serious thing. I'm trying to convey that. Because I want people in the UK to know about this guy. I want them to say, do not allow this guy to leave this country. We do not want to feel responsible because you guys let him out, that kids were preyed on and they were abused and raped. I mean, this is something that people should be calling their MPs in the UK about in the location where they live, if he, you know, that where he lives, I should say. They should be calling those MPs and saying, yeah, you need to make sure that this guy doesn't leave our country. Mr. Leonard has expressed his desire to leave the country because he believes the police, judiciary, and government in the country are persecuting pedophiles. He is very vocal and adamant about this persecution. This guy is fucking delusional. He really is. He is talking out of his ass because the first thing he's going to do is hop on a plane where he can go diddle a 12 to 4, someone in his ideal range, or close to it, as quick as he fucking possibly can. That's his plan. This isn't about, I'm fleeing persecution. This is about, he wants to jam his dick in a child. Fucking sick bastard. He believes that in the fullness of time, pedophilia will be accepted in the same way that homosexuality is today. No, will never happen. That will never happen. As long as I live, I will make sure that something like that does not happen. And I suggest all of you do that, because the second kid diddling is normalized, that's going to be the fall. That will be like a tipping point. Straw broke the camel's back type of situation on the note of Western civilization falling. It really will be. Because then we will be no better than the mongrel hordes that are invading the West and bringing it down. We will be the same as them. And you should proofread. He added. No, he added, Leonard has accepted that his mother, who he has a close connection with, is a factor in holding him back as to his sexual lifestyle. No, it's not a sexual lifestyle, okay? It's holding him back from being a fucking predator. Let's be honest about it. He is literally a predator. If his mother wasn't alive and he can't leave the country with this order, if she dies, he is literally going to prey on kids right there in your local communities. The only thing that is stopping him is his mother, is the fact that how she would feel about it, and the guilt and those types of things. That's what's stopping him. Get rid of that, and he's going to treat the local park's playground like a fucking open buffet. Because he has nothing left to stop himself. He has indicated that when she dies, and she's an elderly woman in her 80s, he will go abroad to seek children. For me, the only pro-social influence in his life at the moment is his mother, and that's purely because she's alive. Well, here's the thing. Without that order, he's going to do it on British soil. He's going to do it in the UK. See, this guy is a calculating and appears to be at least somewhat intelligent pedophilic predator. He's looked at the risk reward, and if he has the opportunity to leave the country to do it, he's going to leave the country to do it. But he doesn't have that option. It's not going to be like his mother. He'll still do it, except this is the type of person that would probably disappear his victims to try to make sure that he does not get caught. I mean, you look at him. He looks like, besides a kid diddler, he's a sociopath. I mean, you look at him. He looks like one. Stuart Kaufman, representing Leonard, said the new SHPO restrictions were completely disproportionate. No, there weren't. They definitely weren't. This guy should not be released on the world. He told the court Mr. Leonard said he would always abide by the laws of whichever country he goes to. If the age of consent is 15 in Thailand, then he would abide by that law. Wow. I am restraining myself. Well, you fucking... This guy's an attorney? Well, he's a sleazebag, or he's either... Well, no, he's a sleazebag. But he's not necessarily sounding too bright there, because that does not go well for your client. You're trying to get this travel ban on him lifted, and you're saying, oh, well, he'll abide by the laws in the countries he goes to. If he's allowed to fuck 15-year-olds, he'll stop at that 15-year-old line. He won't fuck a 14-year-old. He won't fuck a 13-year-old. He won't fuck a 12-year-old. Oh no, he won't do that. I mean, and like with Thailand and the kid diddling tourism, they kind of turned a blind eye, from what I understand, to that age of consent thing. So he would still probably diddle 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. I would not doubt that. He's the Ron Seal of pedophiles. He does exactly as he says on the tin. There's nothing on Mr. Leonard's record to suggest that he's had sexual activity with a child. Correct, because the only fucking thing stopping him, you sleazy shitbag trying to put a predator out there on the world, is his mother. The second she dies, the second she's 6 feet under, cremated, whatever, the funeral's over, he's got a plane ticket, and he's traveling the world, raping children. The only reason why he hasn't offended in the UK. Again? Anyone want to take a guess? Oh, that's right, the mother. The only thing he has ever done is downloaded child pornography. Oh, the only thing. You make it sound like that's not a big fucking deal. Holy shit. I'm glad we're near the end of this, because this is taking all the restraint I have not to go off like I have Tourette's right now. There has been no charges in Mr. Leonard's conduct since the SOPO was made in 2013. I'm assuming that's how people say it, SOPO as a SOPO in the UK. I could be wrong. The court could have made an SHPO then, but did not. Well, they decided to make it when they caught wind of the fact that he was looking to go forth and rape children? Because to me, that sounds like that might have been a reason for it. If his mother dies, it may change, but at the moment it is completely disproportionate. No! Because he's going to treat, like Thailand, their example, or any other country where he can diddle kids, he's going to treat it like Vegas with his mother alive. What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand. Whatever happens, wherever he goes, it's going to stay there. He's not going to have that come back with him. He may even lie to his 80-year-old mother and go, oh, well, I'm going, to Romania. Or, I don't know why he'd want to go, but, Czechoslovakia, or, to go to Prague, or, well, wait, I think they actually have where, age of consent's like 15 or whatever there. Bad example. Poland. Oh, wait, I don't know what their age of consent is. Say he wants to go to, he'll say he's going to Spain, we'll say. But he's not going to tell his mother, yeah, I'm going to Thailand, because she's instantly going to know. It's going to be like I said, it's going to be a Vegas situation. Judge Sarah Dodd dismissed Leonard's appeal and said he was deeply disturbed with a frankly alarming attitude to pedophilia. Yeah, that's putting it mildly. This guy is beyond deeply disturbed. If he does not get to leave and his mother dies, like I said, he will offend. But this guy is not about to get caught, because he's got enough brains to look at the fact of leaving the country, to indulge, for lack of a better term, in his vile and disgusting predilection for children. He'll be chopping up bodies, you know, chumming them. He'll be doing all sick, fucked up shit. You know, he'll be doing the Breaking Bad acid fucking thing. I mean, he'll find a way to cover his tracks. Mark my words. Speaking after the hearing, DC Ashworth said, "I'm pleased with the result. Lancashire Police will continue to manage the risk of any registered sex offender, and this was an exceptional and unique case." Well, personally, I think the second his mother dies, he should be locked up and the key should be thrown away, because this guy will offend. He will seriously offend. And the reason why, like I said, I did this article, I tried to stay calm. I didn't swear like a truck driver, like a Marine fucked a truck driving whore, and, you know, gave birth to a swearing spawn of a child, is because of the seriousness of this. People around Lancashire need to call the DC, you know, the DC's office, their MPs. They need to call these people and say, look, we do not want this guy to leave the country, never mind on our streets. He will offend. This idea that he will not is a false belief. He will either do it here or he will do it abroad, but eventually he will offend. Usually when it comes to pedophiles, there is nothing that will stop them. But for whatever reason, guilt being a very good motivator, and not wanting to let down his mother or upset her, that's kept it in check with him. I mean, that's something you don't normally see with pedophiles, is something like that keeps them in check. They just offend. They get out, they offend again. They get out, they offend again. I mean, it's a never-ending vicious circle. So, this guy, she's in her 80s. She doesn't have much time left. It's a ticking time bomb situation. He is a ticking time bomb. So, yeah, people in the UK, contact the people that are in government that could have anything to do with this situation and say, look, we don't want this guy out there. Anyways, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.